It's beginning. It's truly beginning, guys. The spot XRP ETF went live, and there's a lot of demand for it. Now, we could have liftoff here, depending on what the chart says, and Donald Trump with the bearable guy 123 castle. Let's see what's going on. Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. XRP is around $3.06. So we're still consolidating, to be fair, but guess what? Maybe something could be brewing here. Not beneath your vice. Let us begin. Now, guys, we're the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting from Mr. Pool. On 9/19 timestamp, breaking news. Is something about to occur? Right? Interesting. Tomorrow is 9/19 and the price is 3/11. Right? Because the date is 3/11, guys, which comes back to 9/11. Right? So something could be brewing here. Well, this is breaking news. What just happened? With the spot XRP ETF from Will Insider, Justin Rex Osprey XRP ETF surpasses $24 million in trading volume in just 90 minutes after launch. 24 million, guys. That's large demand, if you ask me. Why? Because even the analyst at Bloomberg, guys. Okay, he's a senior analyst for Bloomberg. He says that he was shocked or semi-shocked for the Rex XRP ETF. Is already at $24 million in volume. That is way more than I thought. I would have thought. For context, it's 5 times more than any of the XRP futures ETFs did on day one. It has only been 90 minutes. What do we say, guys? Right? Because spot is just way more safer, right? And you could just buy, hold, and not do anything, right? Now, look at this. Is the sun starting to shine? 9/18 date delta from Mr. Pool. It seems like it's blazing hot, right? Not to mention, so this is the end of the day, guys. Volume. Rex XRP ETF closes its first day with a volume of $37.75 million, making it the number one best day one ETF volume for all of 2025. Yeah, guys, this is the first ETF, right? And remember, Rex, this Rex shares, or Rex Osprey, guys, isn't too well known, right, in the TradFi world. Well, I don't know if it is, but I wouldn't think it is, right? Well, obviously it is a bit, because it has like so much demand they have so much demand, guys. Okay, but I'm talking about compared to the ETFs that's going to get launched in the month of in the end of October here. Okay, and the names that are backing XRP, guys, are humongous, right? Huge. So what does that tell you? If this is already having a large demand, what does this mean for the other ETFs to get launched in the coming months? It's gonna go throughout the stratosphere, guys. Okay, which will in turn push prices higher. This is amazing, actually. But not to mention, when Bitcoin ETFs were first launched, XRP actually dumped. Guess what? XRP is dumping, right? That's actually hilarious. We talked about this exact path that XRP could take, right, to trick investors. What? But it is a little bit different, because for Bitcoin, there were like a bunch of ETFs, spot ETFs launched at a singular day. For XRP, it's only one. Okay, that was launched in a single day. But again, look at the similarities. I told you, it could be that. But then right after, they'll pump it. From Esoteric Hang, 9/19 from Mr. Pool. The flood of liquidity is imminent, right? It has already begun. To be fair, that's amazing. Now, if we do dump, that means that the dump will be less severe, right? Because the money pouring in. Now, if we pump, that means it's just going to add extra fuel for us to go higher. Dun dun dun. So beautiful, guys. Now, let's talk about the charts. So could this have activated the path to $10 plus from X-Force Global? So don't be fooled by the people who say that XRP can't reach $10 because of the market cap. It's absolutely irrelevant in a growing market. XRP is having a small window of opportunity here to pull itself together and continue the cycle bull run. So okay, so he's talking about this path, guys. Now, he had two different paths before. Okay, one of them being that this from here would have just gone down, right, then up, but it seems like he's choosing this path of his, okay, which the count shows we're gonna go to $4, come back to 3, and then explode to 7, then to 17, right? In the midst of this will be a large consolidation phase, okay, which will span, it seems like, months again, like this. I think the reason being would be because of indicators cooling off, right? If the indicators here cool off, guys, which it did, but the price wasn't below here, there were bullish divergences confirmed and made. Same thing here, right? If the indicators cool off during this consolidation phase, but price isn't below this area, that means there are bullish divergences, which will push prices to $20 or whatever, right? So we could be on this path he suggests. And yeah, so $4 is imminent, guys, right? But at that point, maybe we'll come back down one more time and then blast off. But we'll see. We'll get there when we get there from Crypto Insight UK. This is still currently in play, by the way, he says. So the count here, I don't know too much about Elliott waves, guys, but let's see. Start of wave 3 begins here. Okay, 1, 2, I guess 3, which takes us to $10, right? And this is where that explosion moment comes, guys. If we have begun, right, this next way, like higher, is the real question that everyone wants to know. Well, David Schwartz possibly gives a hint here. Why? Because he's talking about a plane or a liftoff. First time on a plane with Starlink Wi-Fi. It is awesome. 175 megabytes down and 200 megabytes up, measured from my phone, and I'm probably sharing with 100 people. Okay, so what's going on here? David Schwartz, Starlink. He has talked about Starlink several times before, and we know what Starlink will be. In Starlink's role will be to be deployed during the blackout, so you can still use or use the internet, right? That was a theory that I had for years now. So I don't know why he's talking about Starlink. I mean, he has several times before. So, not to mention a plane, right? Maybe it will travel faster now. Okay, but spot the 5A9, right? Is there a 5A9 here? So let's see. 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay, we got 5, but the missing number is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3, but mirrored would be 9. So I guess that could come out to 5A9, right? I mean, there is a 5A9 there too, but it's not like as plain. Now, it could be the 859th minute. Oh, really? No way, guys. Right? That's insane. That the time, I'm guessing, comes out to the 859th minute when he tweeted out, guys. Wow. That's what we call nasty work, right? Where David Schwartz subliminally puts out or throws out a 5A9 out there, right? Because he kind of stopped with those jokes due to his lawyer, I think. So, talking about Elon Musk, Starlink, all this stuff. Breaking, Elon Musk has just confirmed that X Money is working internally and will start extending to outside beta users soon. X Money. Right? When I hear X Money, that brings me back to XRP. The logo is the same thing, literally, right? But X Money. Now, people are saying Dogecoin, right, is ready for it, but I'm thinking XRP will be a part of it somehow, some way, right? Which will be funny, actually, because Doge just went live with their ETF and XRP did too, right? So they could be working hand in hand here. Does everything come together in X, right? 10 is X, I think, in Roman numerals, right? Look at that. Crazy. Then we got Gary Gensler says crypto is highly speculative, very risky asset for most US investors. Guys, he's still on here, right? Still bashing cryptocurrencies, but look, listen, he's actually he actually is trying to warn everyone. It's the thing, but people won't listen because people have hated him and do hate him. Okay, but we will listen because we have an open mind. This is so weird. Why he's coming back right after a long time and saying, watch out for cryptos. Why?
So when I look at the field that trades mostly on momentum, mostly on, frankly, hype for investors.
You think
Interesting. So you're saying hype is connected to cryptos, which is the case most definitely. But now people are starting to realize there's actual utility behind these underlying assets, right? But again, it's so strange. Why so when he was the SEC chair, he actually believed this, right? But remember, we said it back then. He actually is a positive or a good messenger here, right? That most won't listen. The only reason why we hated, or a lot of people hated him, I didn't, because he gave everyone the chance to accumulate more XRP, literally at 30 to 50 cents forever. The reason why people hated him is because he was attacking cryptos, right? But again, we had an open mind.
this is dangerous what they're doing?
I think that for investors, everyday investors, the 5 to 10% of Americans who invest in crypto, and it's hard to get the real, but that it's a highly speculative, very risky asset. And most of these tokens, put aside Bitcoin, but most of the other tokens are not tied to any fundamentals. And there's 5 or 10,000 of these tokens. So,
okay, he is being real there, guys, right? XRP does actually have utility. He's talking about the other S coins, but still, he's basically warning of the great event that's incoming, which is called the collapse. He just confirmed our idea, and he most likely knows what's on the horizon. So he's playing the guy, which nobody will listen to him, by the way. Okay, but he's playing the guy. In the future, he'll be like, "Oh, I told you guys, right? That he was right. That he warned everyone." Very interesting role that he's playing here. While everyone else is so bullish on everything, right? But he's saying, "Hold your horses." Very interesting.
usually over time, you find new equilibriums. Like Warren Buffett would say, what are the goods? What are the revenues? What are they selling? And so forth. So when I look at
Indeed, guys. I mean, we knew this to be the case here. For Mr. Pool 919, an emergency, right? So did he get confirmed here? Possibly. And then look at this vibes. You guys remember the BG123 castle from the White House? What did they just tweet out? Is that a castle I see in the background? Looks awfully similar to dun 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 BG123. Look at this, right? The columns, XRP in the middle. Okay, this is XRP, Bitcoin, I believe, and then USD over there. Oh my lord, comes by threes. Wait a sec, what? And then this account plainly overlaid the image of the castle with the castle, right? The riddle castle, and then their castle, guys. Amazing. Wow. He got confirmed, huh? When we talk about the castle, the king is pissed, right? We're heading to the castle. Who could be the king though? Could it be King Charles? Right? Look at his hands. What's going? Whoa, that's way too puffy. What's that about? The pinky, right? The king's pinky. Uh-oh. Is it about to go? And then London, right? Oh, LDN could be ready. King Charles is 311, right? So let's see what appears, guys. The fountain for today's video, the dance that's going to be spinning ever faster and faster, guys. Let us begin. Now, financial advice. I am ready. My name is Liftoff. See ya.